All right. Welcome to the 33rd episode of the Boomers podcast. We have a special guest episode with the man who's returning. So introduce yourself, bro.
Hi, my name's Mekial. Amar's my lifelong brother, my best friend, husband.
Yes, sir.
Been friends for 19 years now. Yeah, that's basically.
Yeah.
I feel so weird because I feel like the way that you introduced it, I feel like I'm watching.
Oh,
but
watching
I'm also
live. Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah.
same room. So this is,
Nah. We had Mekial and I did an episode, in January, last January. Like that was like a intro. Like remember when?
yeah.
Describing our whole like relationship. But this is like more like talking about life, because like that's kind of like an intro. Normally a guest episode is like an intro and then you talk, but we had to go through 19 years of like content and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but first of all, dude, bring it in
My hubby. My boyfriend.
But yeah, best friends for 19 years, so you can imagine like what the hell we talked about. But
brothers, man.
Mekial has kindly hosted me at in New Jersey, and it's been a week. It's literally been a week, bro, and I'm leaving tomorrow. Like, what the hell?
Because of the delay.
Yeah.
Screw it.
If anyone knows about the Canada airport stuff, it's like we got delayed by Toronto and all this stupid stuff. So yeah, that
worst
sucks.
Airport known to mankind.
Yeah, worst airport experience.
I hate that airport so much, man. Oh my days.
But yeah, dude. Okay, describe life right now.
Dude, I feel like everyone right now is at like a crazy crossroads. Like we're at like the point where it's like we're not kids anymore, but like we're not like established as like adults. And I feel like that's like the main thing that I've been like. That's been like the main focus of the past couple months, like the past year for me. It's like you're not like a kid anymore. You have like real responsibilities, but like those like responsibilities haven't like completely manifested yet. So it's like we don't have jobs and stuff like that, like stable jobs, but like you have to think about that stuff. And I think that's what the past couple months has been like for me. But I think this past like year has been probably like the most transformative year of my life. And I think I said the same thing in like the last podcast episode. But I think it still holds because, like, this year has definitely, like, it's been crazy, man. I feel like last year I didn't really have, like a purpose or, like, a drive. Like, even in, like, my studies, like, I wasn't doing what, like, I was passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, so, like, I'm happy, bro.
Yeah.
I'm chilling. I feel like I found
my prayers have failed. No, I'm kidding.
Praying on my downfall.
But dude, I literally see that, and like I talked about this with you like a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like your physical change since the last time we met, which was July of 2021, 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you changed your program, which is like, I think that's also like a big factor in like your transformation as like a person, because like school is like 8 months of your life, you know. I mean 8 months of a year, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, but anyone who watched the last video that we had, go to the part where we're looking at the photos and go near the end when we get to our 18 years old phase. And Mekial literally has like a huge double chin in every photo.
As hell,
Then he started hitting the gym, and then he lost a bunch of weight. So that literally showed, like, you know how much, like, that stuff is inspirational. Like, also, you and Sohaib both did that, and I was just like, bro, this is like sick. Like, that actually inspired me, because like when you moved into your new house, that's when you got the gym. That's when you started being consistent, right? Because it wasn't the UFT gym.
Yeah, I think it was over this. I started like hitting the gym here, like when I came back to New Jersey over that summer. That's when like I started going like 5 times a week.
Like June 2022, right?
Yeah.
The New Jersey gym?
Yeah. I had like a membership here, and I
where
would,
was that? Because I remember you told me about that, but I don't remember where it was.
It's like 15 minutes away from here. It says
so
full address.
Oh my God. Wait, but how'd you get there though? Would you?
Dude, I just had like my dad and like Liba take me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but dude, I think that's another thing. Like, the physical aspect. Like, I feel like before, when I like wasn't taking care of like my diet and I like wasn't working out, there was so much like physical. Like, I feel like I was pretty disciplined mentally, but that physical discipline, like, it just wasn't there. And like, have you heard those quotes where it's like even in Islam, it's like your body and mind like complement each other, like you can't just have one.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was lacking like half of my being because I just wasn't disciplined physically. So yeah, that was like a major part. And like working out is just such a great thing, man. Like,
endorphins, bro, it changes everything.
Double your riz and just
what does that even have to do with anything?
Dude, you get double your riz with your fit, bro.
That's true. That's actually true. But yeah, bro, like I remember in the last podcast episode that we made, what you told me was that you saw a lot of change in me, and I couldn't see as much change in myself. This sounds so bad, but like I couldn't see as much change in myself as I did in you. But now I can't say that, bro. I see so much more change in you than like anyone I know. Yeah, like just in terms of like, and that's like a big compliment. Like, like physically especially, and then like mentally, I feel like you've more matured and like actually like purposeful. Like you said, I don't know. Yeah. I can't really describe it, but I can feel it. You know. Pause.
You feel it. Yeah, no, bro. Yeah. I feel like I've become very like solid mentally. Like, I was really sensitive before, and like little things would just like make me so upset. And now it's like, remember when we were in the car the other day, like thug it out? I just thug it out, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay, the resolution.
If you were gonna be like, oh, I forgot, I was gonna leave.
I had to think because we've been in the train so much, so I'm thinking about the train whenever we talk.
Yeah.
But no, I remember. That's sick. But yeah. Speaking about a W Riz, dude, that talking case of me and Mekial, for some reason, whenever we have our conversations, the best conversations come up when it's about girls. I don't know why. That's just how it is.
We got W Riz.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so fun to talk about with you, bro. Because I literally, when I talk about it with my other friends, it's just like, I don't know, it's just not the same. Because we tell each other a lot about like, the Riz.
Yeah.
You know?
There's like a barrier you need to overcome with like the person.
Yeah.
Or else it's just like so awkward. Like, I'm not gonna like go talk to some like one of my friends I just met like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And be like, I got hella Riz. Like,
bro,
it's just weird.
But let's put it out to the camera. What's your type?
Nah, I can't say that. I don't know.
Yo, honestly, for me, I have a preference, but like it's not like, oh, that's, you know, it's all said and done right there. Like, I have a preference for my own kind, like being brown, someone being brown and Muslim.
Yeah. But
like, the main thing is like the feeling you get when you're with someone. So any person, I don't care who they are or what type of, like the what do you call it? I don't know, the nuances, like the little things about them, like their race, gender, whatever, all that stuff. Without all of that, like if you just, how do I say it? Like, the only thing that matters is the feeling and like the like how good of a person they are, you know?
Yeah, no, I think I agree. My roommates know my type, but I've told you. But I know. I agree with what you said. I think like at the end of the day, like race doesn't really matter. Like all that stuff doesn't really matter. It's just like how well, this is so like baseline, but like how well you get along with the person, you know?
Yeah. This is like, so super basic what we're saying. Like,
yeah, but yeah, and it's just like, I don't think it's wrong to have those preferences though, because like I've told you this before, but like I'm not like super into like my own, you know.
Yeah, your own kind.
Yeah. Like, and I don't think that's like a bad thing. It's just like your own personal. Like,
you can't control that. You can't choose who you like. You can't choose who you love.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Yeah, exactly. And when people are like, "Oh, that's weird," it's like,
It's not, dude.
You don't really pick
Like,
up.
like when people like say like, oh, you need to be punished for not liking X person,
Mm-hmm.
that's so wrong. Because when it comes to like preferences for anything, you just can't. Like, if I don't like Avatar: The Way of the Water, you're not gonna like. You can't punish me for that. That's just how it is. You know, it's subjective. Maybe if it's like, I don't know, I like racism. Don't take that out of context. If someone says that, you can be mad at them and call them a bad person. Shut up.
We're gonna cut that part and post it on your podcast.
Oh my
account.
god.
I like racism.
Shut up. But dude, I talked about this in my relationship advice episode.
Mm-hmm.
What's the number one thing you look for?
That's tough, man. Number one thing I look for, probably like their drive and like how passionate they are about like what they do. I feel like I wouldn't be able to go through like life with someone who's just like they just half-ass everything they do, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you do like if you're like doing something in like even like your career, if how do I word this? Yeah, it's just like if they're driven and if they're passionate about at least like something, then that's like
the greater things like career, hobbies, and all that stuff, or like even with smaller things like, I don't know, baking a cake in the best way.
That's a good question. I think the greater things probably for me, that would be like, but then there's also like, dude, that's tough, man. That's tough. I think for me that still holds. I think drive, like the person's like drive. Would be the most important.
So you're saying drive as in like
their motivation.
For purpose, right?
Yeah, purpose. Like they have a purpose.
Okay.
Like if someone's just like going through life like, oh,
letting life happen to them instead of making life happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Like
dude, I just made up a quote.
like, you know those people from like high school, they're just like,
yeah,
yeah. It's like that's like so unattractive to me, you know. What about you?
I think for me, wait, I just want to talk about that for a bit, cause like, that I agree with, but the thing is, when there's like, you need to have a purpose to each other as well. I think that to me matters more than just like the general things in life, like career and all that stuff. But like, you know, like the little things, like they when you're sleeping, they bring you breakfast in bed. Like, I feel like that goes both ways. That's not just something that a woman does for a man. That's something that a man does for a woman too. Like mutual love and like, bro, I hate the fact that like people think that like women have to be subservient to men. I think that they both should be serving each other like a lot and equally.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my ideal way of looking at it. But okay, respond.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like when, like even when we were like kids, like when I saw like those couples, because like our parents are like very like 50-50. Like, you know, sometimes I would like go to my friend's house and like their dad would be like the head of the house, and that was so weird to me because like whenever I wanted something, like I would go to my mom.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it's like when people are like I just don't like that dynamic. That was always like, so it was like creepy to me when it's like the dad has like all the power in the house. Yeah. And the mom is just like this servant. It was like so weird. Yeah. You know? I think we were like extremely lucky to have like parents who were like
not the ideal thing that you imagine in a family. Like the I'm not saying ideal that's a good thing, but that's like you imagine that, oh, the dad is the dominant leader. Yeah. Like, cuz we talked about this before, like our moms are both like really good leaders that are like the head of the family.
They're like very independent. Yeah. And I feel like that also informed like our view on like women in general, cuz like whenever you like go out and you hear like these people being like talking about women, and it's like
Andrew Tate,
like they should be like these like servants and stuff. It's like if we didn't have like that influence of like our mothers,
we might have been those people, bro.
If we didn't have like mothers who were like actually independent and like like, yeah, like not servants. I feel like my whole view of women would be completely
Yeah.
like different.
Terrible.
Yeah, and I feel like that also like influences just who you are as a person. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that's not someone who I would wanna be.
And our sisters are really like independent too,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
passionate.
Yeah,
wanting
for
to
sure.
do like literally like I'm gonna tell this to the camera right now, bro. They went today. Okay, so we watched Avatar: The Way of the Water, right? We watched it once. That's 3 hours and 30 minutes of watching time. And then today, all 7 of us, excluding them, were telling them don't go, spend time at home together, and they still went and watched it.
Yeah.
So that just shows their drive,
Yeah.
which that is a good thing.
It was kind of annoying in the moment, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. Now that I'm looking back on it, it is a good thing.
It's a good thing that they're doing that with each other, because
Yeah.
I think me and you would do the same if it was something that we really
Yeah.
liked. But the only
Yeah.
bad thing about that is you're taking away from the rest of the
Yeah.
people's like they could enjoy things more
Yeah.
if you two were there.
Yeah, I thought that was annoying, but I really like how they're able to, like, I really like how them as like individuals, like they do stuff like that. Like they're so driven and like independent that they can do that. And
Yeah.
I don't like gassing up my sister because she like rubs in my face after. But like I I really appreciate like who my sister is as a person. Like growing up, she was always like, I hope she doesn't watch this.
She's probably gonna watch it, bro.
Growing
Laura's
up-
probably gonna watch it.
Growing up, she was always like kind of like a second mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing, bro.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like if I didn't have her influence in life, it would be the same thing. Like I feel like I would be a completely different person.
The exact
'Cause
same,
she's-
bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel like just having that influence of like strong like women in your life, like as a male, makes you so much like a completely different person than if you didn't have that.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
like we got the double 2 times experience of like
double whammy.
what yeah of what like normally people have, you know, or
Yeah.
don't even have.
Yeah.
Because like I'm pretty sure like everyone who like idolizes Andrew Tate and stuff, they're definitely for sure did not have like an independent mother, like a strong-willed mother, or like did not have a sister that they were really close with, or like had a strong influence on them growing up as a kid. That's just has to be like 90% of them. And like, bro, that's just so terrible.
Yeah.
But number one thing I look for, did I say that? Did I say what my thing was?
I don't think so.
Number one thing I look for is if they're genuine or not.
Mm.
That is like, cause like, bro, with me and you, I can talk about anything with you and I can be fully genuine, and that's like, also everyone downstairs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. But I know like a lot of people that I'm friends with and even close friends with that am not able to do that with, just because I don't feel like
Yeah.
they're being genuine with me. Like it just feels like there's just this meter in my head that if they pass a certain like tick, then I
Mhm.
can like talk about anything with them. But like some
Yeah.
people, it's just like, bro, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. If there's not like that level of trust, because I've also had people like
Yeah, trust.
yeah, I've also had people where like I don't like I can't get close to them because I know that if I tell them stuff, they're just gonna go and like tell other people, you know?
Yeah.
Because like if someone like is telling you like all of someone else's business, I feel like that's such a red flag because like they're just gonna tell everyone your business.
Yeah, exactly. The
And-
exact same thing's gonna happen to you. Yeah, bro.
And when that happens, like it's just like I like cringe on the inside, you know? Like when people do that, it's like, because that trust is just like instantly broken
Yeah.
with that person. So it's like, yeah.
And you know, when that happens, a lot of people like to say that you're judging that person, like the person who's telling you about someone else's business.
Mhm.
If like people will say that you're judging that person for doing that, for thinking about them that way, but I feel like that's wrong. I feel like when you judge people, there's a good side to it as well. You know, people are like, oh, don't judge people by their actions or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
that's such BS.
Yeah,
Because what are you supposed to judge them by then?
yeah, because if you don't like form an opinion on them, they're just gonna like screw you. If they're a bad person, they're just gonna like screw you over.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like that's kind of necessary. I feel like judging shouldn't be used like in that context, like judging
What
should,
is
like
it
when you're like
different?
forming an opinion about someone, I don't think
Yeah.
that should be judging. I feel like judging should be like, how do I describe this? You know what I'm saying though? Like,
There's a different context to judging in that situation.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know what the word is though.
judging point two. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like it's necessary to form an opinion about someone. And, like, that opinion can change down the line. Like, I've had people who, when I first met them, like, I kind of, like, hated their guts. Just, like, because they were, like, you know? But, but then, like, but then, like, later on down the line, like, you get to know them, like, maybe in, like, a group setting, and you're like, oh, okay, this person,
Yeah.
he's alright, you know?
Dude, for me,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, I've been completely wrong about some people before.
Mhm.
Like I initially think that they're like really annoying, and I don't want to be around this person, and then my opinion is like, dude, okay, they're actually like a good person. Like, this is actually
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Like, some of my really, like, I've had really good friends that have formed, like, that way. So, yeah, I feel like it's important to form an initial opinion, but, like, it's always subject to change, you know?
Mm-hmm. One of the things I talked about, like in my last video, is like just feeling lost. Like kind of like it goes back to the purpose thing you're talking about. Like liking someone who has purpose. And for me, I feel like I've just been like really unsure about everything the past like 4 months, like ever since like school started again. I don't know. It's kind of just like, what am I even doing?
Yeah, I felt that too. Especially like in the past 4 months, and then also like all of first year, because I was in. Should I give like a background? So okay.
Yeah. Yeah, give a background.
Okay, yeah. So I study at U of T, right? And when I first entered U of T, I was doing like life sciences, right? So yeah, because like my whole life, I feel like leading up to that point, it was like everyone was just kind of like force feeding me, like medicine to me. So my whole outlook was like, it's medicine or nothing, like nothing. And I feel like if I didn't have that like influence, I could have like established a passion for like these other fields like a lot earlier
than
yeah, because like even like maybe CS, like maybe I would have done like coding or something, which I don't think would happen because I kind of hate coding. But
yeah.
yeah, so like, okay, so my first year was basically, or like my first semester, it was just all like contemplating like if this is really what I want to do, because to be honest, I was not like I liked the idea of being a doctor, but I don't think I liked like what being like actually being a doctor, like the work that you're doing and everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like what I liked was like the status, and that's not a reason to go into a
Yeah.
field.
Yeah, definitely,
So,
dude. No.
yeah, so the whole time I was just like, my whole first semester was just contemplating like if I'm in the correct program, if I'm like doing what I'm supposed to do. And I feel like because of that, my whole like basically my whole first year was just like I lacked purpose. Like I was still doing good in my classes and stuff, but it was like there was no like passion behind it. Like I felt like so empty inside.
Yeah.
And I like didn't know, cuz like I didn't see myself in a career in medicine. And it was just like all the work, like I was studying until like 2 a.m. every day, and I was like, I'm doing all this.
Why
for,
am
like,
I doing this?
Yeah, for like literally for nothing. Like this is not what I want to do. And I think that first semester winter break was when I remember I came back from Toronto, and I like sat in my room, and I was just like, okay, I need to make a decision now. If I don't make a decision now, it's never going to happen. So I just sat down for like a couple hours, and I was like, something needs to happen now. I'm sick of like just having this feeling in the back of my head, and like it making me like completely miserable. So I made a decision, obviously, and I switched my program. I'm studying economics now and statistics, and yeah, I'm doing pursuing finance, and I feel a lot more like driven. And I was talking to Josh about this, like we were just like sitting in the apartment, Josh and Hassan, not the apartment actually. We went to this like sushi restaurant. If you live in Toronto,
Harry style.
if you live in Toronto, Kyoto House, goat sushi place.
Disgusting food. But okay, what were we saying?
goat sushi place.
You're with Josh and Hassan?
Yeah, I was with Josh and Hassan, and I remember I was talking to them, and they were telling me, like, we were just like talking, and Josh was like, I don't know if it was Josh or Hassan. I think it was Hassan. He was telling me that, like, when me and him first started talking, because like we were introduced through Josh, right? So it was like when we first started talking, he told me that like whenever we talked, I just sounded so dead inside. And then after we would talk, he would like every time he would like go to Josh and be like, "Is he okay? Like what's wrong with him?"
In your fall first semester last year.
Yeah, like very end of the fall first semester.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And yeah, like I think that was something that I didn't notice, and it was just always showing, because I was always like so deep in thought about like what I was doing with my life, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember him telling me that, and I like it was like a moment of reflection from like where I am and like where I was. And I think when he told me that, like that I sounded depressed, and he told me that I sound, and I'm just like so much better to be around now because like I'm happy, like I was like so elated because it was like I feel like I made like an actual change in my life that like I'm so happy I did, because like yeah, like it's like if it was noticeable enough for him to like mention it,
then it definitely shows.
Yeah,
and it's way better to hear that from someone else than notice it yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was something that I definitely felt too, because like I'm so much happier now than I was back then in like everything I do, and I feel like I have like an actual passion. And like there are times when like obviously I'm unhappy, but like I don't think anything compares to that first year, because just like lacking like you talked about it in your podcast episode, it's like it's an extremely bad feeling, and like lacking a purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you find that purpose, it's like the best. And I think that it happens to everyone. Like I don't think there's someone who hasn't gone through life and been like I don't think there's someone who's gone through life and been like, oh, I know what my purpose is 100% of the way. And I think that's what's I think that's what's so essential about like these years that we're in. It's like this is the time of life when people are figuring everything out. And yeah, I don't know a single person who's gone through these years and just been like, oh, I know what I'm doing, like, you know. And so I think this is a time where like you're supposed to find your purpose.
Yeah.
And then once you find it, like that's who you are. You found your identity. Because before this time that we're in, like in our lives, I feel like everything is just spoon fed to you, you know.
It's so structured. Like you just go to school, and it's like grade 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, general. Yeah. And high school, and then it's just like.
Yeah. And even your views, like up until this is the time when you form your own views too. It's like before this time, everything that like is you is formed by like your parents or like your teachers or just
people
like
you surround yourself with.
Yeah. And this is like, at least for me, I think it's like this for most people, but it's like you start figuring out like who you are and like what your views are and your passions and what your like philosophies are.
Yeah.
And I think that makes this time of life like extremely hard, but it's also like so beautiful. Like I don't know if that's the right word. Beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like it's like you're in this like cocoon and you're like becoming like a butterfly, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're becoming your own person, and so it's hard, but like I really love it, you know?
In the end, when you're in retrospect, then it's like awesome. But in the moment, no.
It sucks in the moment.
Yeah. Like, because, dude, I feel all that. Like, and especially right now, because where you were in your fall 2021 semester is where I am now.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to really, like, I'm considering a program change as well. Mm-hmm. Just because I feel the exact same way. Like, I'm just, like, I was so unhappy in fall of 2022. Like, it's just, like, I was like, okay, my mindset was, okay, first year, I want to do med school. Most basic thing ever. That's what every, like, biology kid says. And then once you get into it, it's like, okay, you know, this sucks, but it'll be over in, like, 2 years, and then my degree will be easy. And then now it's just like, bro, like I made it this far, but if I continue, I'm just gonna continue to something that I don't like. Cause like the whole thing was, oh, do this and do med school. But then now I'm like, there was a point I'm like, okay, dude, 4 years undergrad. Look, we talked about this in the car.
Yeah.
4 years undergrad. Time in between getting into med school, you do masters, maybe do a PhD, then you do med school, then you become a whatever, like practicing doctor, yeah, and then you become a that's like already like 10 something years. That's not worth it to me. For me, for someone who's not, if I was obsessed with money, I'll go ahead and do that just for the money. But hell no, bro. Like that's I just want a chill life, you know.
Yeah.
And like, just it's like you're saying, like you gotta figure out at what point you can, like, because when you're climbing up a ladder, if it's against the wrong wall, you're wasting your time. There has to be a point where you stop and you can get off in time and then go back to another ladder and get to the top of that. So for you, it's like, oh, the whatever life sciences vomit stuff. You like get up. Oh my god, they don't even know about that. You get up on like the first 2 steps and then you get off and go on to the other ladder. So that's like a good time to do it. I don't know, I'm contemplating the same thing, just because it's there's a certain point every day I go to school, or at least in the semester I would go to school and be like, dude, this just sucks. This class sucks. Not interested in freaking genes and organic chemistry. What is this? You know. Yeah, you're like putting so much effort into something that you're not like completely, because it's like 8 hours of your day, like every day. Yeah, like, and plus getting to school and leaving school, and then like you add breakfast in, you add dinner in, you add lunch in. It's like, bro, how much of my life am I actually living? And then there's studying. Like your entire day is spent preparing for school, being at school, preparing for the next day. Yeah. What the hell? And if you're not doing something you like, then it's like you said, bro. It's just empty. Like there's no fun in it. The fun is when it's like, dude, this is like something I enjoy. Like for you, econ, which I don't know how the hell you enjoy, but like that's something that you like. So yeah, that's awesome. But like for me, bro, this is like what I love. So when I do this, and like when we were planning for this, it's like, bro, this is gonna be good. And then I'm like happy. And like, there's different forms of that for everyone.
I feel like we're gonna look back on this time and be like, or you're gonna look back on like this time that you're in right now and be like, everything worked out. Like whatever decisions you're gonna make, because in the end, like how many like trials have you like been put through up to this point? Like literally every year there's something, right?
What do you mean?
Like just like struggles. How many struggles have you been through and you've made it through?
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Every struggle, you know? So like, I feel like this is just another one of those, like, you have to make it through at the end, you know? And like, it's gonna be tough in the moment, but like, you're gonna look back on this time and be like, oh,
it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Yeah. I'm a butterfly.
Yeah, no, I agree, bro.
Yeah, but it sucks in the moment, dude. It's so bad. Yeah.
Then there's also the thought that comes through. This is just what I think. Like, if I were to do that path where it's like the med school path, which is like years of your life, imagine you get to like the very end and then like you just die. Like you die in like a plane crash. Or, like,
and then
you get shot.
Like, did nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah.
And it's just like if you're driven for that stuff, sure, then it's like, okay, good job. Yeah. But like if you're like me and you just don't want that, it's like, because that's what I feel like people do. People get into like their degree and then they're like, okay, I think at the start they think they want to do it. When they're into it and they feel like they want to change, then they don't have the courage to do what you do, which is literally change. And then because you're gonna have to take some different courses. Maybe your degree will take 5.5 years compared to 4. They're like, okay, I don't want that, so I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing. It's easier because it's always easy to continue doing. This is in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. it's easier to do what you're already doing than change. It's easier to continue watching the bad movie you're watching than change into a good movie and watch that, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what a lot of people do. And they just don't have the balls to admit it.
Yeah, just like avoiding struggle.
Yeah, like avoiding the truth that like, okay, I don't like this, but I'm not going to change it because I'm already so deep into it.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of in a place that I'm headed because I've already spent 3 semesters in a program that I've now realized that I don't really like.
Yeah.
And before I was kind of like, in the moment I thought I liked it, and then I was kind of lying to myself, and then now it's like, okay, I can't stop. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, but dude, that's a view that like I've thought about, and it's like even now when I'm like talking to my friends and they're like talking about like these grand ideas and like things that they have, it's like it's always condensed into like such a short time span, like 4 years, like undergrad. But it's like we literally have like the rest of our lives. You know, if your program takes like 6 years, like who the hell cares? Like what are you gonna do with those 2 years after undergrad, anyways? You know?
Yeah.
It's like you're sacrificing those 2 years to like be happy for the rest of your life, and even if your program takes like 10 years, like who cares? You know? It's like I don't like the idea of like squeezing everything into that short time span. Like even like for career stuff, like everyone wants to get like 100K like 6-figure job like right out of undergrad, which is a good thing. Like push yourself towards that. But I feel like when you have this constant idea of like this constant stress in your mind, like, oh, if I don't get this after undergrad, like I'm a failure, it's like I hate that. And I feel like I constantly have that too. Like it's like I'm always like pushing for this stuff and like like trying to get all these like internships and like coffee chatting people and like doing all this work and stuff. And it's like when it doesn't like pan out your way, it's like so extremely depressing, you know, because you want everything in those 4 years, and if you don't get that, it's like, what the hell am I, like, what am I doing with my life? But when we look back on this, like I've said this a lot, but when we like look back in like a while, like down the line, it's like what do those 2 years after undergrad, like it,
or less,
or less, like or less or more, it's like if you take that time and you just spread your stuff over, like it doesn't make that huge of a difference. So
and there's something so good you said that I was going to talk about. Why am I forgetting? It was about like people looking at like 6-figure. Okay, it's the fact that like you're always like, whenever you have some crazy goal and then you achieve that, and then you get there and then you're like, okay, what's next? That's always gonna happen. That's just human nature. We always want more. You can always want more. It's like you said, like push yourself, want more, but don't be greedy with it, and don't like mistreat yourself.
Yeah.
Like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Among it. No, I'm kidding. Don't, like, that's something that everyone falls for, and that's something that happens to me too.
Yeah.
Like living up to the next thing. But like oh my god, I've said this before somewhere on this channel, but if someone else were to look at you, there's someone out there who's jealous of you and wants what you have, and you want something that someone else has. So it's a Pac-Man eating a big Pac-Man, little Pac-Man eating the big Pac-Man, or shark.
Yeah, baby shark.
You know? So it's just a never-ending cycle.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's such a good point. You brought up something that I actually wanted to talk about before. Like weeks before, when you like told me that like we were going to do this, like you're like, oh, okay, let's do a podcast. It's like you have these goals and then you reach them. That's happened to me so many times, and like when I reach the goal, it's like, oh, just like now it's time for the next one, and like it's just never like fulfilling, you know. So I realized that like obviously I'm still gonna be like completely, like nothing's gonna change in like my drive and stuff like that, and like how I pursue like what I'm doing, and like whether it be like career, well, like I'm talking about career, but like career and like school and stuff like that. But I don't think that like that's going to make me like fulfilled or like happy until I like sort out like sort out like who I am, like mentally and like philosophical wise, philosophy wise, and like all that stuff. Like, how do I describe this?
What does that include though?
Like, I feel like right now, I think I've talked to you about this before, or it might have been like Josh.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, but I don't think I have like a set like way that I approach life.
Yeah, you tell me that.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I have like a set like philosophy, you know, and like I talked about this before. What are you laughing at? Dog? I'm trying to be deep, my dog.
Sorry, no, I'm just laughing like I just don't know what that means, you know?
Okay. I'll describe it.
Okay, go.
Like, why are you laughing, bro?
I just don't know what it means. Go.
Like, okay, like the way that I approach life, I feel like the way that I tackle my like problems right now is not like healthy, you know? Like, I'll turn to stuff like I'll just like blast music or like go on TikTok and stuff like that. And I feel like until I make like healthy patterns and like healthy ways of like approaching my problems and like my issues, that I'm not gonna be like
fulfilled.
Yeah, like fulfilled. And I think like religion too has been a big part of that. I feel like in grade 11 and like, okay, all of high school, I was like grade 11 and 12 and like, yeah, I was like very very religious. Like every issue I had, I would like go to religion. I would pray my like 5 prayers like every day, wake up for Fajr. And when I got to university,
wake up for Fajr, that's insane. I can't even do that still.
Well, I was like, it was like school from home. I had grade 12.
Still, dude, even got school from home. Now I would wake up at like 9
Yeah.
or like 10.
Yeah, so I feel like at that, like, because that was like a very hard time for me, and I feel like that's why I turned to religion. Like grade 11, that was like the hardest year of my life, and religion was like the thing that made that easier.
Yeah.
And when I got to university, like it was a very hard time as well, but in that time, I feel like I didn't turn to religion, you know? And then because of that, my whole religiosity kind of like went down. Like not in terms of like my belief, but in terms of like practicing. Yeah. And yeah, I feel like I was very disappointed in like I think I'm getting better now, but I was very disappointed in myself that like in this time of like hardship or like struggle, whatever, being sad, I didn't turn to religion. Like it made me really upset. And yeah, I think that whole first year uni, yeah, my whole thing just kind of declined. But like, yeah.
Okay, what I'm saying about that is that the reason why that happened was because your lifestyle completely changed.
Yeah.
Like that's a totally reasonable thing. Like, and the way I see it is like, there's the 5 pillars of Islam, and then there's like a whole complicated algorithm we can't even understand about how God judges us for everything else that we can't even understand. But within that, God is the most merciful of all.
Yeah.
Within that, there's a ton of like understanding and like, this is why this didn't happen. This is why you didn't do this. This is why you did this. Like there's a ton of like complexity to it that we can't fathom. So, like, just because that happened in the past, like you don't have to be like upset about it. Like because you can still bounce back. And you can bounce back like you've never done before. Yeah. And like praying 5 times a day is like hard, bro. Like it's not an easy thing. Yeah. It's like, and doing wudu as well. I think that's why people don't pray 5 times a day. It's just because you have to do wudu. Yeah. If there was no wudu,
it would be so easy, bro. Yeah. Just like knock it out.
For anyone who doesn't know, wudu is like just cleaning yourself before you, like cleaning your body physically before you pray. That's hard, and it's hard to do, especially when you're in public. And I can't imagine not having your own toilet in your dorm. Yeah. How do you do wudu? Like it's insane. Yeah. So, like you have a valid excuse. Obviously, you should always be praying, but there's also context you need to take into it as well. Yeah. But I kind of like interrupted your vibe there, bro. Continue.
No, I finished. But yeah, I feel like that's something that I really want to improve upon, because I think that's another thing that like you can chase all of these like these goals, but at the end of the day, like, at least for us, like as Muslims, it might be different if you're like agnostic or like atheist or something, but like for us at the end of the day, like what you go back to is like God, right?
Yeah.
So if that part of your life isn't complete, then I feel like you won't be complete as a person, at least for us. Because that's like that's what we were raised up in, that's our whole worldview, right? But I don't like saying it like that, because then it makes it sound like religion is like something that you're like born into, and I feel like there's a point in every religious person's life
but
where
they
like
choose it.
they choose it.
Yeah.
And if you don't choose it, you're not like
Genuine with it.
Yeah, you're not genuine, and like it's not something that you really like.
We're finish each other's sentences. Oh my God. Okay.
Finish each other's sandwiches. It's not something that like you really want to be like. This is not the right way to say it, but you get what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like you need to choose it,
Yeah.
and that happens in everyone's like lives if you're religious. But yeah, what was I saying?
We're talking about
fulfillment. So I feel like until like if that part of my life isn't fulfilled, I'm not going to be fulfilled as a person. I think like I have like a journal that like I write everything down in when like I'm stressed or whatever.
Hey,
and
good job.
And I wrote this part down too. I wrote that like life, at least the way that I look at it, like all my problems come from like, there's no one single source of my problems. It's like everything comes from something different, and like everything's a different, like the problems are like a different size. They come from different factors.
Yeah.
So the solution and like what will make me happy isn't like a single thing. It's like multiple things that come together, you know? And
that's cool, dude.
Yeah. And what was I gonna say? So yeah, like I find like a lot of the times I'll like find something that makes me happy, and I'll just like go full into it like 100%, thinking that it'll like make me fulfilled. And that's just not the way that life works, like at least for me, you know, like a single thing can't really, like just chasing fulfillment from one single source, like whether it be like your career or like your spouse, like romance, stuff like that. Like if you're putting all of your like effort into that and you're expecting your life to just be fulfilled from one source, I feel like that's never gonna work. If like one aspect, like religion for me, if that's not in check and like that, like I'm not maintaining that, then I'm not gonna be fulfilled, even if like I'm doing great in like my career or like anything else.
Yeah, because like with us, it's like if we die and we're at the unfulfilled point, we suffer the consequences of not being complete.
Yeah. And
like that's kind of what this is like, going along with my thought process when I was talking about, oh, you die when you become a doctor and you're unfulfilled. Yeah. It's like you did all that work in like the doctor career path, but it's like you also have to keep up with everything else in your life as well, like family and religion and stuff, which is how we are organized. So that's just like, it's way too hard. Yeah. And also, bro, like, I don't know if you want a lot of it to be about religion, but just I don't care. Yeah. Just like, I don't know, like even when I was a kid, I feel like the way that I thought religion should be viewed was like very, very different from like how it's taught to us. Not by like our parents, but have you ever gone to like Sunday school? Okay. Well, like even like these like lectures online, it's like the way that they teach religion is that like you should be like, your devotion should be because of fear, which is fear of death.
No, fear of like
God.
Yeah, not like fear of death. Yeah, no, fear of God, which I think that should be a part of it. Like you should definitely fear God, right? But your whole your whole following of religion shouldn't be because you're like afraid of God and he's gonna like throw you in hell or something, right? Yeah. Like it should be because, well, I don't know if it should be. This is just the way that I look at it. But like when I was growing up, like I followed, and like when I chose like Islam, it was because like I loved like God, right? And like the idea of Islam, like fear was like
the last thing you're thinking of.
Yeah, like it wasn't really a huge part of it, which like you should fear the consequences but you shouldn't be just following religion because you're like, oh, I'm gonna be thrown in hell, you know?
That's so true, bro. Because I've never come to terms with that, but I've also I've just accepted it because other Muslims are accepting it.
Yeah.
Because fear is not like a good motivator.
Yeah.
You know how in dictatorships it's they show public executions and people what happens when what's the consequence of your actions? They show the bad ones to keep people in check and make sure they don't go astray. So that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and if you look at Islam and if you look at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the way that he led, it wasn't because people feared him. When you look at those dictatorships, their following is because they're feared, right? He was followed because he was loved, right?
Yeah.
So it's I feel that's the way that I want to approach religion. It's out of a place of love and wanting to be loved by God. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, love is a huge theme in life in general.
Yeah. W is.
With yourself, with God, with your family, with your purpose.
Yeah.
I feel that's all I think about every day. It's just what if I'm really loving the people and the things, and if I'm not, then what's the point?
Yeah.
That was pretty much our conversation. Rate the vacation.
Dude, 10 out of 10. But I feel at the start, I don't know why, but I was kind of down just because all of the other factors in life, just career and stuff. It was I was kind of down, and I feel because of that, for the first couple of days, I was really quiet and stuff like that.
I noticed that too, but then I'm he's gonna get better, whatever.
Yeah. And I feel I did get better. It was just I was really stressed for the first couple of days.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yo, new guest, bro. Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
How's it going? Hashim. Hello, I'm Hashim.
Dude, who are you to me?
Dad.
I'll be your daddy. Goddamn. That's actually an interesting question. Who am I to you rather than who are you to me? I guess I'm your family friend. I've known you since you were born. 3 or since you were born.
Yeah. 2004 or something like that. Yeah.
Damn.
We've all known each other for our entire lives, basically.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Dude, more than family.
Come on, I don't think they can see you, bro. Here, rest on my hand.
I think that's right.
Here, actually, come in the middle, bro.
All right, got it. I will carry the mic from now on.
Yeah. Dude, more than family. We're dude, I consider you guys brothers.
Yeah.
Man said more than family, and then said I consider you brothers.
More than family friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are siblings to me. Also because it's easier to explain when I have to take days off.
Yeah.
To hang out with y'all.
Yeah. Dude.
But yeah. We've just been on vacation, man. This is it.
Oh yeah, I didn't rate it, dude. 12 out of 10. Really great time. I feel leading up to this vacation, I was very extremely stressed, and
me too. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel whenever we all hang out, it's I get kind of taken back to childhood, because it's just being around your family. You guys are family, so it's when I'm around you guys, it's the childhood piece comes out, and it's just a lot life is just a lot better.
I feel I live in the moment whenever I'm around you guys.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Yeah.
Every single time that I'm with any one of you guys, it's just bro, life is so good.
Yeah, that's the thing. You talked about this. I saw a clip.
Yeah, I posted
TikTok.
It literally today.
Yeah, I saw it when I was in the washroom. It was living.
You can't confess to being oh yeah, bro, your podcast is my bathroom reading.
Dude, it was okay, yeah. It was living in the moment. That's what when I'm with you guys, I live in the moment, and that's why whenever I look back on these times, it's
the best.
Yeah, and it feels nostalgic in the moment, because it feels you're a kid again.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. We've got sort of a muscle memory ingrained in hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
Where we've been doing this for 20 years now.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel like the adult responsibilities.
Yeah, it just feels like
Yeah, even when we're adults, we're still doing
Yeah.
stupid things.
Yeah.
Man, we have not graduated from the same jokes.
It's literally like the same jokes from like when we were kids. It's like every time we hang out, there's just a different version of like the same type of comedy.
You
Yeah,
sussy
yeah.
gussy.
Yes, that's the case.
That's actually really true.
Yeah.
But like, I can't grow out of it, bro.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in Calgary, I'm not like this.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
I'm just like I'm serious. But then
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I'm here, it's like goofy.
Telling you, bro.
yeah. Like if I carried this comedy back to like Toronto, like everyone would look at me like I'm some sort of like idiot.
Yeah.
They'll be like, get this man back to the 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Vacation was fun as hell. Except it's only been like 7 days and like 12 or like 16 hours, bro, which sucks. Because it
Really?
was supposed to be like 9.5 days. And yeah, like frick, man.
Did
it's
y'all
just-
shout out Air Canada yet?
Oh my god, no, we
Yeah,
talked about
okay.
the beginning, dude. Screw them.
We
The
did.
customer service fire, but the execution terrible.
I mean, also F the weather. Like,
Mm.
why got a storm at that time?
Yeah, true. But
Sometimes life just wants to F you over, and
Yeah.
it makes a sweet moment sweeter.
Yeah, we'll remember that time.
Yeah.
you guys
You guys
plotting
will
in the living
remember
room?
30 hours in the airport.
Yeah, we were just chilling in the living room, like.
Yeah, bro. I still love YYZ because I'm not traumatized.
I remember seeing the Snapchat Mekial you sent me of like
Yeah.
you guys in the living room, bro. I was so freaking jealous.
Yeah. But it was the opposite because for us, when I got there, because once again, you guys were supposed to be there first.
Mm.
And so it was just me. Zuhur uncle was driving me back. I was like, what the hell do I do? Like, Liba and Mekial are expecting Umar, Dina, and me. And all of a sudden, I got to carry the responsibility and
Of the
funniness of 3 people. This ain't going to work. I was
Yeah.
hanging out with them being like, when are they coming, please?
It low-key makes for good memories, but at the same time, it's like, bro, this
In
could've
the
been-
moment, you do feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this could have been so much more. Even though it's like 40 more hours, that still matters a lot. Like imagine if 40 hours were cut from like right now and then we went home then, you
Yeah, we
know?
would have never gone to like the second day in New York.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's still important.
Yeah. But I also think there's importance in having brevity in your vacations too. I know especially with y'all, it's easier because y'all are family. But with like my closer friends, I remember the first time I ever did like a vacation with friends where we went to a new place and we were all like staying at an Airbnb together. We planned it ourselves, we financed it ourselves and everything.
Mhm.
It's financed. What the hell is this adult lingo?
Mm.
Anyways, we paid for it ourselves. We were so hyped. We were such close friends. It was, I think, 5 days. The end of the 5 days, we all hated each other. It's just completely different to like live with people, sleep over with them, hang out with them 24/7, have to tolerate them all that time. And it just gives you a new perspective.
Yeah.
The difference is that with us, we've been doing sleepover since we were like 3.
Yeah, we probably spent months together.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
could be sun sleepovers.
So this is like natural for us. Like us, I think definitely in the past years, we, especially because we live in different cities usually too, we hang out more often during sleepovers than we do during regular hangouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time we meet up now, we're like sleeping at each other's place.
Yeah.
It's like in a different.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I understand now. Oh my god, it took me a second to comprehend. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, we also reduce each other's IQ. Unfortunate.
Dude, that's true.
Yeah. I remember I
The dumb
also
jokes.
I had some friends where they're really mature when you caught them by themselves, but you put those 2 people together
Hell on
and
earth.
it was like babies.
Yeah. That's us, bro.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I was about to bring up this literally you two.
Yeah.
Damn.
But okay. I think we'll end it off here.
Let's do
Yeah.
a group hug.
Group hug. Let's do it, bro.
Let's
No hug for
go.
you, Hashim. You can't accept
Wow.
it.
I'm both your child and your
Yeah.
father at the same time.
My boys, bro.
Let's go.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys learned something. Take away something good.
I hope you
um,
enjoy your vacations too. Have a happy new year.
Yeah.
Enjoy 2023.
Double your Riz.
W year.
Yeah. Yeah. 2022 was good.
Yeah.
Mostly.
2023 will be W year.
Inshallah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bonnie.
Have a good. Oh, come on. Why's that gotta be?